What's up, everybody? This is Kyle the Collector, and today I'm going to show you my manga haul for the months of January and February. I also picked up some anime Blu-rays, some anime figures. I went to an anime convention a few weeks ago, and I purchased some merchandise there, so let's get on to the video. First up are some of the newer releases. We have My Hero Academia Volume 33. This is the conclusion of Deku's phase as a vigilante and probably where season 6 of the anime is going to leave off. Next up is Blue Box Volume 2. This is a very cute and wholesome romance series. It's not going to redefine the romance genre, but it's somewhat of a palate cleanser for me from all the battle series that I read weekly. Yeah. Next up is Oshinoko Volume 1. Written by the creator of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Aka Akasaka, and the art's done by Mego Yokoyari, who's done Scum's Wish. I was expecting a comedy when I first read this volume, and boy, I was surprised that it turned out to be a character drama, but there's some comedy elements in there. And this series, I had to read up to the current stuff. After reading this volume, it's amazing, and I definitely recommend you checking it out if I had to choose one series from this haul. Next up is Dandadan Volume 2. This is a very nice battle series in Jump Plus. It's really growing on me so far. Next up is Tatsuki Fujimoto's Before Chainsaw Man 17 through 21. This is a compilation of 4 one-shots that Fujimoto wrote at the ages of 17 through 21. And you think the stories go one way, and then you get some crazy 180 plot twist. That's par for the course for Fujimoto works. I'm a huge fan of his writing. Next up are Blue Lock Volumes 4 and 5. This gets that hype and adrenaline that I was missing from a sports series. And the anime is awesome, although lacking in the animation, but I know they're overworked. And this is one that I definitely also caught up to in recent months. Next up is Vinland Saga Volume 13. It's awesome to see Thorfinn's evolution as a character from the boy who wanted only revenge to the character he is now, 13 volumes later. Next up is Pleasure and Corruption Volume 6. This is the final volume of the series. I'm gonna keep praising it. The writing is amazing. I'd recommend it if you're fine reading what some people would call degenerate material. Next up is Record of Ragnarok Volume 5. Always a treat to get a new volume of Record of Ragnarok every 3 or so months. Next up are all 6 volumes of Summertime rendering in hardcover format. They were released all at once at the end of December. The paperbacks have been available since July of last year, if I recall correctly. I've been waiting for the hardcovers, and they're finally here. The anime is also finally available for US streamers. It's now on Hulu. It's out of Disney jail. The series, it's like ReZero and Erased in the time traveling aspect. Every time the main character dies, he gets sent back to a certain point in the past. It's more of a mystery and has some supernatural and fantasy elements with the time traveling aspect, and the mystery is that people on the island can be impersonated by these shadow creatures, and it's the main character's job to find out the origin of these shadows. Next up are some restocks that have been released recently. Finally have Volume 5 of Slam Dunk to complete all 31 volumes of the series. It's the gold standard of sports manga. Next up, another Volume 5 of Nisekoi. Very cute series, has a lot of filler. So I pick and choose which volumes I collect of Nisekoi. I'm not going to collect everything. Next up is the final volume of Dead Man Wonderland, volume 13. I've liked what I've read so far, and I can't wait to read the final volume of the series. Next up are volumes 6 through 9 of Saint Young Man. I haven't bought any volumes from the series in over a year, so I took advantage of the Right Stuff sale recently, or the holiday sale actually, yeah. Caught up to the series. Always fun to see Jesus and Buddha as roommates, portrayed in a positive light. And next up are two series that I'm not very familiar with, but they were also on sale. First up is Enemon, volumes 1 through 3. If you've read Enemon, let me know if it's worth reading. There's one more volume that's going to be released sometime this year to complete the series. And last of the manga are volumes 1 through 5 of Blue Giant, or 1 through 10. These are 2-in-1 omnibuses. I know this series is going to get an anime very soon. If you've read Blue Giant, let me know if it's good also. Don't usually read music series. I want to hear the music itself, and how are you gonna read it if you're flipping pages? Next up are some anime Blu-rays. We have Steins Gate Zero. All 25 episodes are in these 2 Blu-ray sets. This is sort of a sequel to Steins Gate, the original series. It takes place in between episode 23 and 24, and kind of explains what some would argue an ass pull at the end of episode 23 of the original series, but opens a whole can of worms in this timeline. Okabe failed, and he's pretty much depressed all season. Episode 6 and the final episode of Steins Gate Zero are the standout episodes, but I don't know, I wouldn't recommend Steins Gate Zero unless you really love the original series. Next up is Children Who Chase Lost Voices, a movie directed by Makoto Shinkai. This is, I'd say, more of a fantasy compared to typical Shinkai films, and it's very enjoyable. Next up is The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, a movie directed by Masaki Yuasa, one of the great minds in the anime industry right now, I'd say. Next up are some anime figures. First up are Kaguya Shinomiya and Chika Fujiwara from Kaguya-sama Love is War. These figures are made by Ben Presto, or Bandai. I got the Chika and this next one of Rengoku Kyojiro from Demon Slayer. I got them from an anime convention called Katsucon, and that took place in Maryland last month. But I also pre-ordered some anime figures. We have Denji and Power, these Nendroids from Chainsaw Man. I will open these very shortly. At Katsucon, I also got some art prints. One of Denji in this Chainsaw Man form, Aki Hayakawa, and the Fox Devil in the background. And this one of the gang from Jujutsu Kaisen. I didn't get the artist's name. If you recognize his artwork, and let me know in the comments, I'll pin the comment. And let's open the anime figures.
Here's the Kaguya out of the box, very simple prize figure. She's striking the Okawai Koto pose, and it's a very nice looking figure for under $30. And here's the Chika out of the box, also a very simple prize figure. You're not going to get much from girls in their school uniforms. And she's striking the pose how she greeted Miyuki's sister. Yeah, I want to collect Kaguya figures without breaking the bank. Here's the Rengoku out of the box. Awesome looking prize figure. You can see the details on the hair and the sword, and the sword can be taken out from the hilt very simply and put back into his hands. No trouble at all. You can see the folds and creases on his Demon Slayer Corp uniform and his Hashira cape. Yeah, very cool mentor type character in Demon Slayer. Here's the Denji Nendoroid in the default pose with the Pochita out of the box. Some poses in his human appearance don't need the stand attached, but the head becomes too heavy in his Chainsaw Man form. He comes with 4 different hands, 2 closed fists, 2 open hands, a ripcord pulling hand, 2 arms with the chainsaws, 2 sets of legs, 2 standing up straight, 2 knees bent, 3 faces. The tongue on his Chainsaw Man head can be taken off, and a blood spattering effect is included. You can put it on this Chainsaw Man head. The Nendoroid has many accessories. Here's the Power Nendoroid in her default pose with Meowie, aka Miyako. She definitely needs the base attached at all times because her small feet can't support the weight of her figure. The figure comes with 3 faces, open mouth, closed mouth, smirk, and a blushing face. 3 hands, open palm hands, weapon holding hands, and a hand holding the zombie arm from episode 13. The blood sickles and the hammer from her powers. No pun intended. This Nendoroid. It's cool. It's cool to get the Chainsaw Man characters in chibi appearances.
Thank you for watching. Appreciate you watching this video. Be on the lookout for more anime and manga themed videos. Till next time, take care. Bye.